Let's start with this disclaimer. If there's one thing I want you to know before we get started, it's this. Confidence can be developed. I'm not fearless, you are not fearless, but together we can evolve into something that is closer to that. Confidence means so many things to so many people. I bet if I asked all of you to name one thing that makes you feel confident, we'd get a plethora of different answers, and none of them would necessarily be right or wrong because there's really no one way to be confident. I think that's a very important lesson. For example, maybe talking to strangers is confident for some of you to do, and for others, it's just not. So since confidence is so broad, I'd like to focus on ways to feel that confident again, or to just be confident, no matter how you feel confident. Growing up, I wasn't the most confident person ever. I wasn't the kid who made jokes that made everyone laugh. I wasn't the girl every girl wanted to hang out with, and I certainly wasn't the kid that just blurted ideas out with a toothy smile without thinking about whether her ideas will be received with mockery or not. I wished I was. I really wished I was, but I wasn't. And it did not make me want any less to just be that girl, i.e., the girl who just went for it, who was choosing confidence every single day. I've definitely had ups since then, i.e., periods where I felt invincible, and I've also had periods where I felt very insecure to leave my house. So this brings me to the second most important thing I want you to know before we get started, and it's that it's not possible to be confident all day, every day. It's not realistic. There are always going to be certain periods of your life where you just feel more confident than others. And maybe that's okay. Maybe just like me, you want to know how to be more confident when you're not. And lucky for you, you're in good hands. Because I spent a lot of time reflecting on the times that I felt the most confident and trying to understand why. And I'm pretty confident in what I found. I came up with 4 things that always enable me to be my most confident. So here they are. The first one is acceptance. During my best confidence periods, I noticed that I always accepted myself a lot more than any other period. I was always very grounded and content. Not happy, content with who I am. For example, before summer 2020, I'd always been so afraid of wearing all black outfits because I just thought it made me look like a goth or an e-girl. And personally, it just wasn't the vibe that I was going for. And even though my family just kept telling me that it wasn't true, I couldn't get over the fact that in my head it felt true. But something happened after I was doing online school for half a year. Being so far away from my friends, family members, and teachers just made me realize how little their opinions actually mattered in the big grand scheme of things, in this huge thing that is life. And it made me a lot more confident. There's this quote that kind of changed my life when I first heard it, and I think it sums up pretty well what confidence is. It goes like this. Confidence is not they will like me, it's I'll be fine if they don't. If there's one way I can describe my thinking back then, it's like this. And if you're struggling with living a life where you don't care about others' opinions more than yours, then I think a rule of thumb is to only care about the opinions of people that you would take advice from. Tip number 2 is be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I don't think it's new information that anything you want is outside of your comfort zone. That's why you want it. And if you never leave, you will never get anything. One of my favorite quotes says this: if you're not growing, you are dying. There's even this audio going around on Instagram that further proves my point. It says that if you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. One way for me to be comfortable with the uncomfortable is by giving my all in everything that I do. If I make a decision, I promise myself that I try to execute it as best as I can. And in turn, putting my best work out there helps me to assess how good I am and what I need to work on, and thus it makes me more confident in my abilities. I am proud and happy to tell you that it gets easier, you know. The more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you become with not being understood, not being liked, and with trying your best. I am confident that all of you who are watching this can do it, because I can see that you have the drive to seek knowledge. Tip number 3 is practice. This is probably the most important tip in this video. As much as practicing lines to say to people you meet for the first time and thinking of scenarios and trying to be ready for them if they happen, nothing will help you more to be confident than just getting out there and doing that thing. Confidence is one of those things that you cannot learn if you don't do it. So yes, you will have to risk telling jokes that aren't funny, wearing outfits that no one will love, and saying things that people would disagree with you on, but if you're okay with your choice, at the end of the day, I think you'll be fine. Something that helps me personally to tackle any uncomfortable situations is just dressing myself only in outfits that I love. I try to surround myself with as much love as possible so that I can feel the best I can about myself. Also, a general rule of thumb in life is to just stop waiting for when you're confident to do things, because let's be honest, you'll never feel ready to be laughed at or judged, so just go for it. You don't need anyone's permission to show up as the girl you want to be. What's the difference to a stranger between pretending to be the most confident version of you and being the most confident version of you? Nothing. In the mirror, they look exactly the same. So a lot of building that confidence is just pretending you already are confident. The last tip is honesty. Giving myself credit when I know I deserve it and being honest about the things that I know I need to work on helped me be confident a lot more than telling myself that I am good at something when I know I am not. I try to be as neutral as possible when assessing a situation to just really see it for how it is. And admitting that even though I worked on that essay for 5 hours and only got 60% might be my fault because I didn't follow the guidelines will help me a lot more to get a good grade next time than telling myself that the teacher just hates me. Confidence is more about knowing that you're not the best or the funniest or the smartest and being okay with that and willing to learn rather than it is about believing that you are the best at anything. Because the truth is, you can always learn something new. Alright, that's all I have for now. Please share any tips that you have on confidence. Thank you so much for watching this video and I will see you in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe!